Hi, McArthur. How are you today? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
it's great to see ya.
You as well. You as
Did
well.
you have a good weekend?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so all right, so for today, what would you say would be your main focus for this session? What are you hoping to accomplish today?
Well, there's actually I can't find them now. They're like just here. Okay, so there's like these scripts that I wanted, like, or like these characters that I wanted to go over
Sure, yeah,
because
okay.
they're like additions. But I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not because I don't know if I have the time. But I'm like, I want to practice them anyways.
Yeah, okay,
So,
great.
uh,
Absolutely. I love that you're um and I feel like in the past like I had done the same thing where going okay, practice scripts are great, but sometimes feeling like you're doing an actual audition script just feels a little bit different. A lot of the time the scripts that I'll find and give to you guys too are like they'll be formatted a little bit better. They'll have better directions to them, and sometimes you get auditions and you go, "Oh, okay, this is laid out a little differently." What I know is a little bit different than sometimes, what Vandy tells you. So, yeah, I think that it's great to take an actual audition script to practice with. And then, like you said too, you might not get it done in time for the audition, but you might get it done. So, um, then you can submit it. So I love that idea of like, well, if we do, we can get it turned in. So yeah, I think that's great. And then uh two, regardless of whether you get it turned in, you can always use this as a sample clip and or for your reels. So I think it's a great practice to do. All right, so I see you pasted in. So great. I can take
yeah.
a look there. All
There,
right. So for this one,
there's like
what do you know about it, and what do you um, want to do with the script based on what you've read, and what are you thinking as you approach it?
um just kind of more like at first I was just like kind of following like I guess like the persona that they kind of gave these characters and like the
Yeah,
emotions they wanted to like follow with it. So I was kind of going like what they're saying and then I just kind of was just like putting my own spin on it in a sense of like, oh,
sure.
maybe they would want this or maybe he'd be excited but also curious at the same time. So that's just kind of like what I've just been doing with them.
Sure, yeah. Okay, great. Um, so then yeah, so let's just try it. I want to hear where it's at, and then we'll go from there.
So there's like war characters that I was like looking at.
Okay.
And one of them's like an older 50, 60-year old.
Okay.
Uh
Yeah, I love that you get some contrast in there. That's cool that you get to play with some different voices. Do you feel like there's one that kind of is a little bit scarier than another?
I would definitely say like one of the younger guys that's supposed to be I think it's the second to last one or the last one.
Oh, okay.
And it's because like that one's like it seems like that person's the more like very, very energetic one out of the group because I
Uh,
think like the last three characters they're all part of like I believe like the same streaming type like YouTube group it seems
sure. Yeah.
like one of them's like very jokey, he's like the more YouTuber serious one, and then like one's very like casual, and he's like the hosting educational one, and then like
Got
one
it.
is like very like energetic and he's like and I'm like
Right.
that one's a little bit different from the rest of from the rest of the ones
Yeah. That
that
it
I've
just
been
feels a
doing.
little more um challenging for you just because of that sometimes, it's like, okay, this character just is a little bit different than me, or it just feels a little foreign because maybe you haven't done characters like that in the past. And so it can feel a little intimidating. I think also with having multiple characters like that, that's always a challenge because you go, okay, how do I create these individual characters so that the audience knows that I'm doing very distinctly different character voices and can
Yeah.
hear the change, right? Um, yeah, so that can be a little intimidating. And you've already done multiple characters at that point. So then going in, it's like, whew, okay, so this is like an additional character later on. So yeah,
And
so I get how that could be a little intimidating.
there's like one character on here, they're like Slavic accent. I was like, I'm not even gonna try that one yet. I'm not.
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
was like, accents are not there yet. I was
That's
like,
okay. That's okay. Yeah. So, yeah, let's go ahead and let's just try a little bit of it. Do you want to start with the character that's a little bit scarier, or do you want to just start at the top?
I was just gonna. I guess we could just start at the top and then
Great.
just work our way down to the
Sure thing.
scarier ones.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'll be the 50-year-old
Okay.
guy. Okay. Our guests are some of the country's most powerful. They're expecting a peaceful night, and you are going to give it to them. And so there's like three different ones. Did you want me to read off like all
Yeah,
three?
no, I think that was
Okay.
great. Yeah. So for this character, how did you decide on what you're doing with the voice? Like it's a little bit lower, it has a little bit of gruffness, like a husky quality. How did you choose these vocal characteristics?
So reading like the information that they give about this
Yeah.
person, I felt like
Hmm.
this person was very high up, so they had a lot of money, so they took care of their like body and they were
Sure.
smart of what they put inside their body. So I felt like they wouldn't have like a breathy air to it, even though they are older, and
Mm,
they would have like that more like stern, gravelly tone because they're kind of like, I guess, at the top of the corporate world in a sense. So that's
yeah.
just kind of like where I came from it because I was gonna go like really like but then I was like, well, no, he's at the top of the corporate world, so like he would have taken care of his body in a sense, and he's only 50,
Sure.
so it's not that
Right.
old.
Right. He's not like super old, right?
Yeah.
He just is someone who's a little bit older, has more life experience. Yeah, awesome. So what did you like about that take there? What were your favorite things about it? And if you changed something about it, what would it be and why?
So I guess like the one thing I kind of liked about it was just like keeping the lowness in a sense of like being able to
Yeah,
stay down there.
sure.
Um the one thing I would change about it is probably the pacing. I felt like I rushed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. So slowing it down a little bit, leaning into that um grounded quality. Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh gosh. The Did you want me to like because I have like three very, very, very like short scripts, like
Right.
two sentence,
Yeah.
one sentence, two sentences again.
Yeah, we
Uh
can do one at a time just to
okay,
really fine tune first.
God. Our guests are some of the country's most powerful. They're expecting a peaceful night, and you are going to give it to them.
Good. Okay, so who do you think you're talking to in this moment?
Definitely the help. That's a very bad word, but I feel like it's definitely like the kitchen staff and the
Sure.
waiting staff and like the dang, I can't think of the valet, like those type of like workers in a sense.
Sure, yeah. So what do you think happened right before this?
I feel like nothing necessarily like happened right before. I feel like he was just more down on the floor and he's like watching them prepare and he's like looking at every like tablecloth that's folded and he's looking at the dishes that are like getting made and he's like looking at the menu and then he just kind of is like in a sense like has all of them there and so he just kind of calls all of them together and he's like reinforcing the ideal of, hey, this is like supposed to be a smooth quiet night and you're going to be the ones to give it to them.
Sure, okay. Yeah. Um, so I guess what I'm curious about is like, is there a trigger? Is there something that causes him to feel like he should say this to them? Like he sees somebody kind of slacking off, they like check their cell phone and he gets a little irritated by that, or he like um is reminded that like this really important person is coming, and so that kind of makes him a little more on edge. Like, what could be the thing that causes him to the impetus for it, or did someone say something to him that he's responding to?
So, it might just be like the persona I gave this person, but I feel like he's a very like detailed oriented person
Sure,
with him
yeah. So he
being,
just is very like on top of things, detail
yeah.
oriented, wants
And
things
so,
to be a specific way.
yeah. And I feel like he probably looked at like a glass or like a fork that was on the table and it had like a fingerprint smudge and like he grabs it. And then like that's where he's like, okay, look here, people. We are not making this mistake with none of these. And so like I feel like something like that small would be the point of
Yeah,
him getting everybody together and be like, yo, like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, like I know people who are OCD, and that's just part of their character of who they are, right? Um, and so that could definitely be that this person, that's just how they approach things. And like for some of the people I know, it seems like it's kind of like something they do to be um, less anxious, right? It helps them feel in control. Yeah.
Right.
And so like this is someone who likes to be very hands-on, likes everything to be perfect, likes everything to be just so a certain way. Um, and it's just like very, like you said, detail oriented, wants it to be, just this way. Yeah. And so, just wants to double check, make sure that they're on top of everything and everyone's on the same page. Yeah. Great. So let's try that again. That you're and just focus on that, like you really want to be sure that everything is done right.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
But, our guests are some of the country's most powerful. They're expecting a peaceful night, and you are going to give it to them.
Nice. Okay, good. Awesome. Um, so I'm curious too about this character. What are some of their like defining features as a character? Some of the things that um you feel like make them who they are, and how did you land on those?
Mm, so, like, when you say defining, do you mean like physical,
Could be,
spiritual,
yeah, any of those types
mindful?
of things. Yeah. Were there like clues that they gave you? Um, like how did you come to like this is who this character is?
So I definitely feel like he is a three-piece suit man.
Okay, yeah.
Has like 30 different suits just up in his closet.
Absolutely.
Has like 14 different watches. Has a very nice full groomed
Yeah.
beard. Has like hair, but not a full head of hair, but he knows that it's like falling out. He's aware of it, but he's gonna keep it there as long as he can.
Hmm.
He's a very family oriented man. He likes to give his kids like
Sure.
everything that he can give them because
Yeah.
I believe he came from not a wealthy family, I believe. At
Mm.
least that's what I'm like
Okay.
kind of giving him. So like that's the
Yeah.
reason why he wears the suits and the watches. So like people don't really see like where he came from, but also people who do know where he came
Uh,
from knows that he made it. He
right. Yeah. Okay,
and
yeah, that it's um Yeah, somebody worked really hard to like come from something and become something else, and they're very proud of that. Okay, nice. Yeah, absolutely. All right, great. Um, Very cool. And how do we showcase that? Um, like one thing I think you mentioned, they're very detail oriented. They take this very seriously. Um, what are the things that kind of help you to, I guess, show those traits, those character traits?
And so like reading these three very small scripts, I will say like I guess like in the sense of like the way he introduces himself is he'll go up to the person, introduce them in a sense.
Sure.
The way that he's able to like just kind of keep that same, at least like the way I'm reading it in a sense, is
Hmm.
to like kind of keep that same tone. Like he's not angry or he's not like sad or he's not very joyful, but he
Yeah.
like I think of him at least as a person that I'm trying to like speak for him. It's like you know if he's angry or very like happy within the way he delivers the tone of the
Right.
words. Again, and that would be like on me. But also like in the sense of like the way he's like detail oriented is like even to me
Yeah.
like the first line or sentence is that he knows like every guest that's coming are the most powerful people. It's not
Right.
some,
Yeah.
it's they are the most. So like he knows like the
Hmm.
people that are going to be there. He's not letting his assistant do all that and letting them know who it is. And then he's not letting his assistant tell him who's coming and then he has to go introduce himself. Like no, he's gonna go
Right.
introduce himself
Yeah.
by himself because he knows who's there in a sense.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just like the way at least I thought of like that character.
Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So, is there anything we would want to change about this particular line, or are we happy with how we just did it?
Um, right now, pretty happy. Uh, I am thinking like right now in my head, I don't know if I'll be able to do it now. That's why I'm like I say right now. But I am
Okay.
thinking of like a way of making the tone in a sense. Uh, not lighter, but more, I guess, open-ended because he is a family man and he may know like, hey,
Yeah.
some of my workers have like family. Some of my workers came where I came from, and he doesn't want to
Yeah.
be a douchebaggy boss in a sense, but he also knows he can't be their friend in a sense, and he has to like keep everything in line. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be able to find that tone later, but I don't know if I can
Okay.
do it right.
Hey, that's okay. Yeah. So that's something that's like in your mind. So why don't we go to his next line? Because he has multiple lines. So let's try the other lines this character has. So for this next one, what do you think, is the context? What's happening for this character in this moment?
I feel like because they say slightly obnoxious interruption. So I feel like he may have been talking to like someone else, and
Sure.
then
Yeah.
maybe like another person, it may like another guest that's at his party
Yeah.
comes and like interrupts the conversation that he has, or like is maybe like just standing next to them very closely, like leaning like an ear over, and so like he just kind of turns around and he's not like he's not gonna show that he's upset, but he's gonna be very like not condescending either. I don't want to say that word, but he's gonna be very like, oh my gosh, like okay, bro, like we haven't met. Let me introduce myself because clearly you either want my attention or you want the person I'm talking to's attention.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah, that's a very specific context and setting and situation and what you're specifically, referencing there. And I think that's a really good, strong point of view as the character. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the line. I'm gonna have you try it 3 different times in a row. And we're just going to see how that comes across. If we just try it 3 different times, you can tweak it each time. You can try something totally different each time. But we're going to try 3 different takes of it.
Gotcha. Also, I just noticed, did you get new headphones?
Oh, yeah. They're actually kind of old ones, but I just was like organizing things and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about these." And I was like, "I'm gonna use them." Because I feel like the ones that are like in ear, my ears just get tired more easily. So
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
that.
so I was like, I'm gonna switch it up. So yeah, I feel like the over ears are a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I was looking, I was like, I swear something's different. I
Sounds
just
different.
don't know
Yeah.
yet.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. All right, awesome. So, yes, they are. They're different ones. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna try that again. Or this new one. So the first take of this one. Yeah.
Gosh, I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush. I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush. I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Good. Okay. So could we try it like you're really curious about this person and you want to know more about them.
I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Okay. And then let's try it like you are trying to like stake your territory a little bit more.
I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, and then let's try it like you're a little more relaxed and casual in this moment.
I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Yeah. Then let's try it like you're talking to someone that you're interested in, like a little more flirty.
I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Nice. Good. Yeah. I just like to always try some really contrasting different takes because you can always learn something from that if you give yourself a little bit of a different situation, a little different
Mm,
context. Yeah. Nice. So
yeah.
then, great. Awesome. So then what did you learn from doing those multiple takes?
Um, t- about 7 words can sound completely different with speed,
Yeah,
tone, and the way you're just
definitely.
feeding it. It's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So I want you to try it again. This time, just really follow your instincts and just like if this was your final take. So I'll try it lots of different ways and kind of play with it, and then I'll pick, what my, final insight is into it. So let's try it again and just really try to follow your instincts there.
I don't believe we've been introduced. Rupert Rush.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I felt like that was a little bit smoother. Yeah, nice. And I feel like too, in that initial meeting of somebody, he might be a little bit more like open and he wants this person to engage, right? So if this is not someone, like before it was someone who works for him, right? And in
Mm,
this setting, in this context, it's like, okay, they don't work for him. He has to, get them to want to engage and want to talk to him, right? So I like that a little bit more gentle approach to them. Very nice. Great. Okay. So let's go ahead and try the other lines.
so this one, it just says dangerous next to it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
I feel like everything I've like said about this guy is just like dangerous. And like the first thing I think about is just
Yeah,
Kingpin. Oh, okay. So now I feel like I gotta be a little bit of a
right.
douchebag here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, so dangerous. So there has to be a little edge to it and a little like undercurrent. And if you think of characters who, even when they do very little, you can tell that they're a dangerous person, like the main character in Peaky Blinders, right? Like, I
Mm,
mean, he doesn't even have to say anything, and you're like, oh, he's a little bit scary? So so that just that little bit, I feel like someone who's truly dangerous too, a lot of the time they don't have to do much.
Mm,
It's almost like there's power in the stillness. So sometimes it's like the less you do, the more scary they can be?
yeah, I feel
Like
you on
someone who's a
that.
little more out of control or like playful, like if you think of somebody like the Riddler or the Joker, they seem a lot less scary to me than someone
Mm,
who is like, to me, Lex Luthor is a lot more scary because he's so calm and he just like has it all. Like there are things in the works you have no idea behind the scenes. Like,
yeah,
so to me, that. I feel
it's
like
like
there's a lot of power in that like calm centeredness.
yeah, it's like
Um
when people say like when Spider-Man stops talking, you're like, oh shit's fucked up. Like something's about to go
yeah,
down.
yeah, because Spider-Man does tend to like try to he's like if we can smooth this over without
Yeah,
violence, let's do that. So when he's done talking, it's like, well, you're screwed.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a funny yeah, that's a good observation. Yeah. A good thought. So let's go ahead and try it.
So much as a single finger gets pointed our way, it's you they'll be pointing at. The first pawn to fall, if you like. So best keep your mouth shut and do your damn job.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So this is clearly somebody who, I mean, he's telling them to do their job, right? So someone that he feels entitled to be like, hey, like, you need to step it up. You need to do your job. Now, why do you think that he has to tell them to do their job? Like, I mean, you
Mm,
think they know to do their job, right?
right.
Yeah, so to me, it's a little like, okay, like they know that, right? So why does he have to tell them to do their job? Why don't they just know to
So
do it? Like, what happened that makes him feel like he needs to remind them to do their job?
I definitely think this is like so not like the not like a stockholder, but someone who's like related to a stock, like a stock or shareholder, someone who's like related to a shareholder. So like
Mm.
they're not like the CEO or the CFO, but they're like the head of something, and so they've taken like the job lightly, and so he doesn't like
Yeah.
that they taking the job lightly because now he's messing with it with his money, and so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So that's something I always try to consider is like what drives this character. And this character's money is really important to him. Okay, I love that you landed on that. It's like, okay, money is very important to this character, and right now his money is being threatened.
yeah.
Like to him, money is power. Yeah, great. So let's try that again. And let's go ahead and try three different times, three different ways.
If so much as a single finger gets pointed our way, it's you they'll be pointing at. The first pawn to fall, if you like. So best keep your mouth shut and do your damn job.
Yeah, good. Okay, let's try a different approach to it. Or you can try the same approach with like little tweaks too.
Gotcha. If so much as a single finger gets pointed our way, it's you they'll be pointing at. The first pawn to fall, if you like. So best keep your mouth shut and do your damn job. Uh,
Yeah, okay, good. That one felt a little more threatening to me. Okay, let's try one more take, a little bit different.
If so much as a single finger gets pointed our way, it's you they'll be pointing at. The first pawn to fall, if you like. So best keep your mouth shut and do your damn job.
Yeah, this time I heard the beginning actually a lot better, differently. Like I could hear like the threat just right off the bat,
Mm.
right from the beginning. Really nice there. Yeah. So tell me a little bit of what you learned from each of those different takes.
So like, one, how differently you could threat somebody without necessarily being, but just in the sense of like how he could, be annoyed but threatening at the same time. So like that will like mess with his speech pattern in the sense of like he's not trying to say every word necessarily clearly, but he's trying to make the tone come across as dangerous and like very threatening, but he's just like, bro, I just want you to get out
Mm,
of my office and do your job because you're very, very annoying to look at right now. And so I just felt like every
yeah,
word wouldn't be said in that one.
sure.
And then with the other, like with I think it was the second one, that one it felt more like emphasis on like instead of like the calmness, it's more of like a direct threat to the person. And I don't want not only that person to hear me, but maybe the people that are outside of my office to hear like what I'm saying to this person because it is a direct threat to this person. And I want people to
Got it.
understand if you are like this guy, you will be hurt too in a sense. So like it's just I
Yeah,
guess like
okay.
those those two feelings in a sense I felt like their speech patterns were completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that idea of like you are being threatened in this moment. So like you are nipping that in the bud. It's like, okay, this is going no farther. Like this ends now. And you also like you're being very clear from the get-go. It's like, okay, like this ends now. And it sounds too like you're saying like you shouldn't even have to say this to this person.
Yeah,
Like this shouldn't even be a conversation. So the fact that you're even giving them any of your time is a big deal,
right.
right? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say this once, so hear it well, you know? It's like I'm not gonna say it again. You know?
Right, right.
You will just be finished, you know? Yeah. All right. Okay, so yeah, so then okay, let's do one final take of that line and just really follow your instincts with it and just like everything you gleaned from these other takes and just like go for it.
If so much as a single finger gets pointed our way, it's you they'll be pointing at. The first pawn to fall if you like. So best keep your mouth shut and do your damn job.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good. I like it. Yeah, I definitely felt like, from the beginning, it was like, ooh, this is a not good situation for me, the person being talked to, right? Very nice. Good. Did you like that take?
Yeah, yeah.
You're happy with it? Good. Awesome. Great. Okay, so let's go to our next line of the audition. Yeah, and it's always really interesting when you get those auditions where it's like, wait a minute, like it feels funky to me when it's like I have single individual lines. But sometimes they'll do that and you have to make each individual line really active.
Mm.
So yeah, nice. All right. Yeah, let's go to our next line then.
So this is like a different character now.
Yeah.
So this guy is I think like 30 to 40, I believe,
Okay,
and
great.
he is they say he's friendly, but he's haunted by his own past. And he's channeled into his work as a weird fiction writer. He's charming and helpful with a trustworthy voice, aiding and encouraging protagonist Sebastian deeper into his mysteries.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, this one was
Yeah.
also very, I guess, like not weird, but like different than I guess what I'm used to like voicing in a
Mm.
sense. Oh, because I was like, oh, I feel like I could kind of do this one a little bit in my own voice, but just a little bit, you know, upbeat.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and try it.
mm. So this first line, it just says casual, and I was just like, I've
Great.
never had a line
Yeah,
that
you're
just
like,
said
I can be casual.
casual.
I got this. Yeah.
I will try my hardest to be casual. I was like, oh, I feel like I have to do this or that. I was like,
Yeah, just like
this
be
feels
mellow, laid
awkward.
back,
Yeah.
casual. Yeah. Easy going.
Agent told me his quite a storied house, but that sort of thing doesn't bother me. More fuel for the writing fire, as such.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So who do you think you're talking to in this moment? How do you feel about that person? What's going on here?
I definitely feel like they're probably talking like one over the phone, but probably like their partner in a sense of going through this. So like I feel like they're like not ready to move in, but like maybe like he moved to like another town or moved like city blocks or something. And he's like, it's for my writing. And like he's just like letting his partner know, like, oh, I
Okay.
finally moved into the house in a sense.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. I feel like that's a pretty, positive situation too. Yeah. Great. But I also think that's a big move. So,
Mm,
depending on how the partner, for instance, how you feel like they're going to take it, like, are they going to be excited for you? Or are they going to be like, whoa, that's a big change? Are they supportive of that? Are they going to be concerned? Is
mm,
this like a financial thing that they're going to be like, whoa, like, can we afford that? So thinking about how they might respond and feel about that too.
mm.
So let's go ahead and try this line three different ways.
Gotcha. Okay. The agent told me it's quite a storied house, but that sort of thing doesn't bother me. More fuel for the writing fire, as such. Uh,
Nice. Yeah. So it seems like it's just like part of the conversation, right? It's like just a
yeah.
continuation of a conversation you guys are having, is what it feels like to me. Nice. Great. And then let's try it two different ways.
The agent told me it was a quite a storied house, but that sort of thing doesn't bother me. More fuel for the writing fire, as such. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's definitely the
Okay.
ginger ale.
Oh,
Oh.
you're good. Yeah. You're like,
Oh.
come on, ginger ale. You're supposed to settle the stomach.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Oh. The agent told me it's quite a storied house, but that sort of thing doesn't bother me. More fuel for the writing fire, as such.
Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. That's a totally different take. Yeah, nice. Good. All right. So, what did you like best in those takes?
Um, so like I would definitely say like best. I just kind of felt like having the tone just stay upbeat.
Okay, yeah.
In a sense of like with like my last one, I was thinking like, oh, maybe he's a little scared to like tell his partner, or like maybe his
Mm,
partner is like a little like on the cautious side, and so he's like
sure.
kind
Or
of
maybe
saying
he
it like,
knows they're a little superstitious, or,
yeah,
they like really believe in ghosts and things and residual energy, and they're going to be a little freaked out.
yeah. So I was like, I'll
But you're
just
like, I got a good deal. It's a good location.
yeah,
Like,
like we have all of this stuff going on. Like, let's look at the half full side of it.
exactly. Yeah, like, for me, like I feel like that can just like fuel the creative energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Good. Okay. So, yeah, I totally get that it's a little bit of a different take. So, good. So, let's go ahead and try it again and have this just be like your final instinct if you're going to record the take, just like follow that gut instinct.
The agent told me it's quite a storied house, but that sort of thing doesn't bother me. More fuel for the writing fire as such.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, you seem really excited about this development, which I think is great. All right. So let's go to our next line of the script that they give us.
So I'm supposed to be reading an expert of his book to an audience. Like I can do this one. All right.
Okay.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into this injured mind against his will, and an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become part of it.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about how you approached that. What did you like about it? What did you feel like landed really well? Um, what are you trying to get across here?
Um, I would say like kind of what landed well for me was just kind of just like the smoothness of it going in there, very, I guess, like confident of it. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
maybe from me just narrating, for me just getting done narrating the book. So I don't know, that kind of felt a little bit like that. So I was like that felt kind of good with it. What I feel like he's kind of trying to like get across with this line is a sense of
Mm,
like a mystery to it, but also a sense of like danger
yeah.
with it in a sense. So like pulling those two off on this line in a
Yeah.
sense.
Well, and two, like I think those things can affect different people differently. Like one person could be really
Mm,
scared and anxious about it. One person could actually be kind of excited about those things, you know?
mm,
Another person could be kind of concerned, but like not playing too much into it. One person could be kind of like, Psh, I got this, like nothing bothers me, I'm fine, like kind of like brushing it off or like trying to be like, I'm in control. I got this. I'm fine.
right.
Um, yeah, so thinking about, just different ways that you could approach that as the character. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Mm, interesting.
Yeah. So let's try that line three different ways.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into his injured mind against his will. And an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become part of it.
Okay, that was really different that time. Okay. Next take.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into his injured mind against his will. And an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become part of it.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that one I felt like made me a little more like intrigued. Yeah. All right, let's try another take.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into his injured mind against his will, and an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become part of it.
Nice. Yeah. And this is different too because here, you're narrating, right? We've had lines that were the actual characters so far. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but you're still keeping it's like the narrator is keeping the character of the character as they talk about them. Yeah. Nice. Good. All right, let's try one more take of it.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into his injured mind against his will, and an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become part of it.
Okay, that one felt a little more um like dun 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 to me, like this is serious. Like there are some intense kind of like scary things happening here. Like Spider-Man just got bit. Nice, awesome, good. All right, so let's try it and just follow your instincts this time. Like take everything you kind of processed and learned from that and incorporate that.
Time slowed around him as all the secrets of the universe poured into his injured mind against his will, and an epiphany struck him. If he could not escape the darkness, he would become a part of it.
Nice. Okay. Good. All right, I like that. I felt like it had a good like mixture this time. Like you took little snippets of the other takes and incorporated them. Nice. All right, let's get to our next line.
This one is like one short line. It's interested yet concerned. A monster? Like you said you saw in the woods? Tell me more. That's like the whole line.
Yeah, so it's a little bit
Very,
shorter,
very
right?
short line.
That's okay. Yeah. But the thing is, just because it's a short line doesn't mean it can't be a powerful line, right?
Right, right.
So what all can we do with it? Yeah. So sometimes you can put a lot into just a short little moment. So yeah, so what do you think is happening here in this moment?
I feel like this is definitely him talking to someone. I don't know. It might be like his partner, and I feel like they're maybe at at the new house that he just like bought and moved into, and he has
Okay.
like a forest in his backyard. But like there's like a fence there. But like his partner was probably like in the back, like chilling, smoking something, and then he sees the monster in the woods, and now he's like and
Yeah.
he like calls him back door. He runs back into the house. He's like, his partner's trying to tell him. He's like, whoa, what? He's very interested to see the monster, but also very concerned because it was in his backyard.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So, yeah, so let me hear all those different feelings and emotions that this character is feeling. And a lot of the time we can't necessarily showcase like a lot of things all at once. So, maybe for this moment I'm showcasing this emotion and then it like quickly rapidly shifts. Like the character is going through a lot of emotions and changes very quickly. Can be a good way to showcase all those different things.
Gotcha. Good. All right, I'll try my best. A monster? Like you said you saw in the woods? Tell me more!
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have room to do three distinctly different things here, right? A monster, it's like you have three distinctly different chances to have a different beat, right? A
Right.
different beat shift there. Yeah. Nice.
But
Awesome. I felt like that
okay.
time it kind of like built on itself each time, and like it grew each time. Yeah. And I also like too, like I really heard the question, like the
Mm,
question mark, a monster question mark, right? That landed really well. Nice. Awesome. So let's try a couple different takes of the same line.
A monster? Like you said you saw in the woods? Tell me more. A monster? Like you said you saw in the woods? Tell me more. A
Oh,
monster?
yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. That one, it was like an excited kid being like, tell me the story. What happens next? And then I was like, oh, you're really nervous about it. But like, you can't help yourself. Yeah, nice. Good. Yeah. So what so far what are your key takeaways there?
Um, just kind of like as like for his character in a sense for like this line is like I feel like this person, even though he may have like some stuff like coding him down or he may be like honest, like hanging on to things in his past, he's always in a sense is trying to move forward or he's trying to find like an opening of happiness. So like even if there is a
Yeah.
monster in his backyard, he doesn't want it to necessarily like drive him out any more than what he's already putting on
Right.
himself.
Hmm. Nice. Good. Yeah, so let's do our final take of it. Following those instincts.
A monster? Like you said you saw in the woods? To tell me more.
Nice. Yeah. I like that I really like you did take like a little bit of each of those different takes. I could hear the influence of each. Like you had just a little bit of the stutter at the end. You have a little bit of excitement, a little bit of the fear in there. Yeah, really nice. It's like somebody watching scary movies, even though they know they're going to be freaked out, right before bedtime. So, yeah, I did that Saturday. And it was really freaky. I was like, wow, I need to like wash my brain before I try to sleep. I did not sleep so well Saturday night. So yeah, yeah, it's that like, oh, this will be fun. And then you're like, why did I do that to myself? Nice. Um, yeah, cool. So then yeah, so let's go ahead and try our next line.
So I think this person is a radio host, or it
Cool.
seemed like it. So this person is they have like a 50-year-old to an 80-year-old, and I was like, I'm gonna go with he's like 50, 60. He's a radio announcer of times gone by, host of a longtime
Okay.
radio show, The Midnight Mystery Zone. Hal is a chaser of obscure phenomenon, unexplained local legends, and supernatural entities. Okay, so this first line just has presenting next to it. Um, okay. Good evening, night owls, and welcome back to another hour of strange tales on the Midnight Mystery Zone. I'm your humble master of mysteries, Hal Townsend.
Nice. Yeah, very cool. Okay. So I want you to play maybe with some character inspirations for this one. So
Mm,
tell me a little bit about like some characters that we could use as character inspirations.
mm. Dang, I can't think of his name. It's not necessarily like the character, but I guess like the actor. I feel like he would
Sure,
have like
yeah,
a very
absolutely.
like a very like nice grooviness to it, and like two of
Okay.
them kind of come to mind, and it's just the guy that voiced the voodoo uh guy from Princess and a
Ooh.
Frog. I feel like he would have like a very groovy take to it.
Yeah.
Oogie, what is it? Oogie Boogie? Is it Oogie
Okay.
Boogie? Yeah, I feel like his voice actor would have it, and then like the last kind of like actor, I feel like would kind of like put their own like smoothness to it in a sense, but I feel like
Yeah.
he would do it in a comedic way is Gus from Psych.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Gus is great. That's fun. Awesome. All right. So yeah, we've got some really distinctly different character types there that we can, try using as our character inspirations. So let's try those different character inspirations with this script, and you can like pause and regroup between the takes.
I will try my hardest. Ah, I will probably not sound like any of them, but good evening, night owls, and welcome back to another hour of strange tales on Midnight Mystery Zone. I'm your humble master of mysteries, Hal Townsend. Good evening, night owls, and welcome back to another hour of strange tales on Midnight Mystery Zone. I'm your humble master of mysteries, Hal Townsend. Uh, Good morning, night owls, and welcome back to another hour of strange tales on Midnight Mystery Zone. I'm your humble master of mysteries, Hal Townsend. Hmm, I feel like I have to work on my Oogie Boogie voice, but yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. So what would you say are kind of your key takeaways from each of those?
Definitely like I don't know why I did it for all of them, but I feel like all of them stretch out like their
Mm.
words in a sense. Like
Yes.
especially like when it comes to like the O's like good or owls or zone. Like I
Nice.
feel like
Yeah.
when it comes to those O's, like they would stretch it out.
Yeah, so that was something
Um
that carried across all the different characters.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Um and then like I was trying to get like I've like probably like kind of like I guess like a rhythm to it because of like the two voice actors for Oogie Boogie and the voodoo. I cannot think of the actor or the character name, but for
That's
like the
okay.
voodoo guy, I feel like
Yeah.
they would have like a like rhythm to it, like a very like
Mm.
but it would be like a upbeat cool rhythm to it. I don't know, like I just can't think of it right now, but yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. You've got a clear picture in your head, so that's totally fine. Even if you're like, I can't like figure out the name or whatever. Totally fine. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So then let's try it one more time and just try to kind of like pull from what we learned from each of these characters, and then you're just gonna follow those instincts, kind of distill it down.
Good evening, night owls, and welcome back to another hour of strange tales on the Midnight Mystery Zone. I'm your humble master of mysteries, Hal Townsend.
Nice. Okay, good. So with that take, what did you like about it?
In the sense of like the slowness, but also like the drawing of the words, like stretching the words out of it, but like definitely like the just taking my time with it and not like rushing it in a sense of like I guess I felt like I was introducing the show to like the people in a sense.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So then, good. Is there anything you would change about it, or are you happy with that?
Right now I'm pretty happy with it. I know I'm definitely gonna go listen to like Oogie Boogie and like all of it, like just kind of like see if I could like feel that into this. But right now, pretty happy with it.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So then, good. So let's go to our next part of this audition.
So this one just has presenting and enticing next to it. Um, Join me as I take a walk with the last surviving member of the family as she returns to the house that never let her go.
Ooh, that's pretty ominous. All right, nice. Okay, so we're trying to engage our listeners, hook them, um, you know, and I really liked that, like the house pause that never let her go, you know. I really like that moment where you kind of let it linger, and then you're like, da da da, surprise. Really nice there. Um, yeah. So, uh, tell me for this line, what do you feel like this line needs most?
Just like uh I know I'm not gonna like be able to say the right, but like the feeling of attachment of like I
Hmm.
want to be hooked on like the words that he's saying. Like and as a listener at least, I
Yeah.
want to be like, oh, walk through the last surviving member. Oh, of the family. Oh, this house.
Right.
Oh, like I want to be able to be like hooked on if he stopped at family, I want to be hooked right there. If he stopped at the last walk, our last surviving, I want to be hooked. So I guess like I want to be kind of like a siren with like each word I say, like pull these people in.
Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. So, how do you think this character feels about this story in this interview?
Mm, it's like guessing they're okay 50 to 80s. I feel like they're very not they might be working for like another like studio or for his studio, but I feel like they've been there so long they kind of have like their own way of doing things in a sense. Like
Sure,
nobody like
yeah.
really questions it. So I feel like they're
You're in your
they
groove. Yeah.
yeah, like they are excited for it. Like they asked for this and they are like ready to like kind of like dig into like this person and like see like the answers that they have for them and stuff and like maybe see the other side that people haven't been able to explore yet.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of like, like this is your job. You have a way that you do it. And it's very like you're in your groove, you're in your patterns, and this is the way we do it. So it comes very easily to this character.
Hmm.
Yeah, nice, awesome. Great, awesome. Okay, so let's try this line. Let's do it three different ways. Or, sometimes I'll do it and I go, oh, I want to lean into this a little bit more. I'll just like tweak it. But let's do three takes of it.
Join me as I take a walk with the last surviving member of the family. She returns to the house that never let her go. Join me as I take a walk with the last surviving member of the family as she returns to the house that never let her go. Uh, Join me as I take a walk with the last surviving member of the family as she returns to the house that never let her go.
Ooh, okay, the last one was a little more ominous to me. Oh. Yeah, okay, so what did we learn from those takes?
Definitely like for me, I felt like better keeping it as like a mystery, as like slowing it down a little bit, making people essentially wait for like the next word, making people like kind of like linger, like, oh, is he gonna kind of like stop here? Like, what walk are we
Yeah.
going on? Oh, which family member is this? Oh, it's a woman. Oh, is it the last daughter? Is it the mom? Like, because okay, like maybe I would know what it is as like character, but like basing off of like just like what the person
Oh
said, like
yeah, like
yeah,
obviously the radio show host probably does know more,
yeah,
right? But your audience does not,
yeah.
and you want them to want to know more. Yeah. So, yeah, really focus on like getting them hooked, getting them invested, getting them
Mm,
like, "Oh, I gotta tune in, I gotta keep listening, I gotta learn, like I need to know."
yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, so
I
let's
feel like
do one more take of it and just follow those instincts, really lean into that. Like, I'm a radio host. I want people to get excited about this. I want them to want to tune in.
Join me as I take a walk with the last surviving member of the family as she returns to the house that never let her go.
Nice. Yeah, very good. I definitely heard, some of the influence of all the different takes there. Nice. Very good. Yeah, and it definitely felt like, as a radio host, you're very comfortable. Like when you see somebody on stage and you just
Oh,
go, "Oh, they've been on stage a lot." They just seem at home there. They just feel comfortable there and like look like they're at home there. So, really nice. Good. Okay. So, from all these different lines that we've done and our approach to these one-liners, what would you say are some of your like key takeaways or like things you want to tuck in your tool belts, so to speak, your voiceover tool belt? What would you say are these like key takeaways, these things that you want to remember and like lock in your brain and come back to?
Um, definitely my old person, 50-year-old, 60-year-old voice. Because I feel like, even though this is like the radio host, I feel like it was kind of close to the same voice as my first character in a sense, as like,
Okay.
I guess like kind of like keeping the same like going into like my lower, I guess like,
Hmm.
voice instead of like keeping it in my normal voice or going a little bit higher. Like I
Yeah,
felt
so
like
just that element
they
of like
were,
it being in
yeah,
the same pitch range just
yeah,
makes
I
it
could,
feel pretty similar. What would
yeah.
you say are the things that make those two voices different, though?
Um, that I would definitely go with like for me character wise, at least like it makes me see them differently. So like with Hal Townsend, he's very they might be the same age, but he's very comfortable. Not to say like my first character isn't comfortable, but I feel like this guy, he's like very comfortable, like he's not very serious. He might not be paid like a lot of money, but he loves what he does. He loves talking to these
Yeah.
people. He loves deep diving into all these like mysterious and supernatural stories. So he's very like excited. Even though he's 50 or 60,
Mm.
he's very excited with his voice, even though it's like a lower voice and
Yeah.
he's having to be down here. But the excitement
Mm.
carries it to where my first character, he's has to be very stern. He has to be very serious. He has to be very detailed in the way he speaks, and he has to like make sure people hear every word that comes
Mm.
out of his mouth so that nobody tries to essentially mistake it or try to like pull the wool over his eyes of what he said in a sense. So he has to be very careful of what
Sure.
he says.
At least
Yeah.
that was like the two
Right.
main
What
differences I
I'm
feel.
curious with someone who is older, if we say like the radio host might be like 60, he's a decade older than the first character. What are qualities or traits that you hear in more elderly voices?
I will definitely say they're the pit I'll you also like again like depending on I'm gonna say both of them are very healthy in a sense with these two characters. They both been taking care
Yeah.
of themselves. I will say one would probably be just like the tiniest bit gravelly, but also be very clear and uh and more dang, how would you say like more staggered with what he's saying at or like more stone like what he's saying with because he doesn't have to necessarily yell. So like even though Hal is
Mm,
10 years older than him, I feel like he's been able to like speak at a very calm tone throughout his
sure.
career to where I do feel like my first character, I can't think of his name right now. He's had to like kind of yell and strain his voice a little bit more. So like
Right. So he'd
that,
be gruffer, like you'd
yeah,
hear the effects of that,
yeah.
or maybe like he likes to have a cigar at night or something,
Right.
Yeah, you
Or
can hear that.
or like he might even be like again like even just like a little bit slower or like very
Mm,
like take his words more like he's gonna say each
weighted.
word yeah to where like how's like oh I've been able to just kind of speak in a normal tone. I haven't had to
Yeah.
like yell every hour of the day or every afternoon every Wednesday or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. So I think that can be really helpful to identify, like, especially for characters that you go, are the voices are very similar, to go, what makes them different, though? What are the
Mm,
things that make these character voices distinctly different from each other? So nice. I really like that. Yeah. Yeah, good. Awesome. So, good. So I would love for you to try to record all of these and get them submitted for the audition if it's still up. Why not? And then also you've got those then, as long as they don't say like, hey, don't use this, you can like use it as sample clips or add like lines to your reel as well of the different character voices. So. Yeah.
copy that,
Yeah.
copy that.
Awesome. Well, great work with this today. This was really fun. Yeah, I always when I get the auditions that are like one-liners like that, I don't know, like I feel like if you have a little bit longer script, you feel like, oh, I can kind of warm up into it. And it's like you have to really like pack a punch with the
Mm,
one line. And so it's almost like each individual line is its own scene. And so, you prepare it like, what is this moment? And it is its own scene. So it's
right,
like you have to do that work of figuring out like what's going on in this moment and who these characters are, who they're talking to, how they feel about them, what do they want in this moment or need in this moment, what's their goal here, what are they trying to get? Um, so yeah, like it is a little bit more, I think it's almost like multiple auditions in one
right.
audition then,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, but I definitely I see these auditions regularly, all the time. So I think it's great to practice that where it's just those one-liners. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
because
good thing to put in your
definitely
repertoire.
with like I guess like the younger character that I had where
Sure,
he's like
yeah.
talking about the book and like that last line where it's like just three boom phrases and it's like I've
Yeah.
seen those before but it's always been like back and forth. So it'll be like it might be like those three
Mm,
phrases but then like somebody else is talking and then you get to talk again and somebody else. So it's never been like just that one like those a monster like you said you saw in the woods tell me more like it's never been something that short and that's it. So that was very like different trying to read that, but it was very also like very fun to read it because it was like every break is kind of like changing the tone in that
sure,
sentence.
yeah.
So that was very fun to do and kind of learn to do it. do it differently in a sense instead of keeping it all the
Mm,
same. So,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's a great takeaway. And I was gonna say too, like you see a lot of these one-liners, for instance, if you play a video game character, like they're
mm,
gonna have a lot of one-liners. So that's a time when a lot of the time, I mean, sometimes you get like cut scenes and things, but for video games, a lot of the time you get these like one line, and so they fit it all together in the game. Um, and so if you think about the context, like what are times that I would possibly have this happen? That's an example, like you get those all the time. So yeah, so I think this is great to practice that. I think also, a lot of the time, they will have you go in and just record like your character's lines only. And sometimes they'll do separate appointments. So it's just like they'll work with one person at a time. So you're not actually like playing off of each other. It's great when you get to do that, when you have isolation booths and you get to hear the other characters and narrator talking, and it can all just kind of like flow together. But sometimes you don't get that. So sorry.
right.
Sometimes
It's
they
all,
just have you come in and they're like, you just record your lines and we'll edit it all together later. And
mm,
so then you have to record it like you just did. And that can be
mm,
tricky. And like I've had times where I was cast as like a big character, like a lead or a supporting lead or something. And then I get there and they're like, we're also gonna have you read like some small lines for other random characters that just sort of like pop in and out. Um, or they'll be like, we're going to layer you into crowd scenes and things like that. So that happens too, where I maybe didn't have the lines for the other characters. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. And so then in the moment, they're like, oh, we're just going to have you read like a couple extra lines too, and like play these other like tiny little pop-up
mm.
characters. Um, so yeah, like a lot of the time, for instance, for a video game, you might have like one female and then two males play all the different voices in the whole video game, right? And so, then you have, maybe a few main characters, but then you have like little small characters that randomly come into and they'll play all the different characters, right? And so, then you have to be able to be flexible and create these different voices. So what you did today actually isn't crazy unusual, right? This could definitely be something very similar to what you do in the studio setting. You go in and this is what they want. So yeah.
Gosh, you gotta keep that in mind. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So great. Awesome. So okay. So yeah, so I'd love for you to record these. If you want, you can send them to me after you're done and we'll go from there.
We'll definitely do. Appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, great work today. This was a really fun session. Keep up the good work and we'll just keep trucking along.
We'll copy that. Copy
Alrighty, I'll
that.
see you in 2 weeks. Bye, MacArthur.